Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Aditya Sharma. So today let's discuss about a main topic, which is why did the Silicon Valley Bank collapse? As you may have heard about this bank, this is a famous bank which is also called SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank. So you may wonder, why did it collapse? The simplest The answer is very easy, but we will discuss about how to avoid this and why did it collapse. And the main thing which is very shocking is that US President Joe Biden has guaranteed that he will return all the money to the people who have deposited their money into this Silicon Valley Bank. So let's start our video. I request all of you to subscribe because only 20% of you have subscribed who are watching. So, the Silicon Valley Bank. This is a bank in United States of America, which is, one of the main banks in USA. But this bank is what you may think this is not a big bank, that is why it should have collapsed. It is the top 16th bank in United States of America, and its collapse is very shocking. First, this bank only invested in real estates. Think that you in that money you deposit into a bank, they will keep it in a locker and lock it, and they will not utilize it at all. But they will give it as loans, and the other remaining money they want to earn money, because bank has to give the salary to the employees, and it has to also get the profit. So it uses it to invest in private companies, stock market like that, and in government bonds. What are bonds? Let me explain it just very briefly. In bonds you invest money, so the money you have invested will be utilized by government for building infrastructure. After some time it will give it with interests, and it will provide the whole money back to you, which is safer than stock market, because you know it is very safer because it's owned by government. But why did it collapse? First, it was only on real estate, so that's why it had a major setback. But this bank, Silicon Valley Bank, funds startups, invests in startups, gives them loans. Many startups in India, many startups in all countries have their accounts in Silicon Valley Bank, because it only focuses on startup businesses. And as you can know that, then why did it collapse? Many banks in US collapsed. So as you can, when the interest rates go down, the price of bonds go up, and when the interest rates go up, the bond prices come down, and it's inversely proportional. You know what is inversely proportional? When you raise a thing, the other thing decreases. Directly proportional means both will decrease or both will increase. So when they did this, US government increased the interest rates. Why do they increase the interest rates? Simple: to control the inflation. Interest rates and inflation are again inversely proportional. And now that, so you may have known about the 2008 financial crisis, and every crisis which hits US, or where there is a lot of inflation, they increase it. But when there is a crisis like that, they decrease the interest rates like 1%, 0%, 0.15%, like that. So the people get the money, and the money by people is utilized by themselves. So then, but the inflation rises after some time. The crisis has gotten over, they again increase the interest rate slowly, and that is very bank, the Federal Bank of US, is the central bank like RBI in India. And then so they lost this, and after a news came like the government bonds price have decreased, and it's a very very bad thing for Silicon Valley Bank. Everyone wanted to withdraw their money. They standed in huge queues. The simply Silicon Valley Bank did not have money to pay them back. So it started to sell government bonds or everything it had at very low prices. It had lost many $1 billion. So as it had lost, the news came and people got more freaked out, and they again started to withdraw their money. They stand in huge queues. Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. So now they will be US government and its leader Joe Biden. This person has said that they will return all the money to the people who have deposited in Silicon Valley Bank. That is what he said. So what they will do, they will print the money maybe, but that decreases the value of US dollar. So you may be wondering, why can't we print money if we do not have money? That will decrease Indian rupee value, which is the same as you had earlier. You will not have enough money, because if India prints money, RBI prints money, the value of Indian rupee will decrease to the US dollar against the US dollar. So it is a very shocking thing said by Joe Biden, but they are keeping the US at a fair position, US banks, because if they do not return money, US will lose all of its its fame, and the banks from the US, as three banks have collapsed, the money from the US will be withdrawn, and US will have no investment, which will be very bad for US. I think this was not a bad decision from Joe Biden. So Silicon Valley, so government has to diversify its investments, not only in government bonds, but it should not invest a lot of money in only one thing, because as I said, single wrong decision can collapse your bank. But again, the management of Silicon Valley Bank had not taken good decisions. That is it. They thought that the people will not withdraw their money, they will keep using the loans, but it did not went as they thought. And this collapse reminds us that banks should diversify their investments, and you should also keep your money in different banks. If you keep a lots of money in only one bank, if it collapses, then your money is gone for some days, that is why we also have to diversify our deposits in banks. We should not keep it always in one bank, how big the bank may be. So this was about the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. You can comment about it, and you can tell your opinion on this. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye. Share, like and subscribe.